Good evening, everyone. Just want to take a moment to thank you guys for allowing our students to come here and show the great things they're doing in our 3DE Leadership Academy. As you'll see here in the next few minutes, the work they do is pretty amazing. If you're not familiar with 3DE, 3DE is a 4-year program where students learn different skills and competencies that are embedded into the curriculum in various courses. It starts in 9th grade and builds from 9th to 10th to 11th to 12th and culminates in kind of an internship, mentorship kind of experience in that senior year. So the group you're going to hear from tonight is a 9th grade group. And right now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Lindsay Tamalawan. She is the teacher of these students, and she works with our 9th grade literature and 9th grade literature honors classes for our 3DE students. So Miss Tamalawan, if you want to take it away.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Tamaliwan, and I am the 9th grade 3DE English teacher at West Forsyth High School. This is my 12th year teaching here at Forsyth County Schools. Being a 3DE launch teacher is one of the most rewarding parts of my entire teaching career. This role constantly pushes me to think outside the box and expand my own teaching practices. In the classroom, I enjoy facilitating an environment where students take active roles in their learning. It's an honor to watch my students as they both grow academically and personally. In fact, the other day I overheard one student tell another that what she loves most about the 3DE program is that the skills that she's learning in class, she can apply to any career that she picks in the future. It's in that moment like those that I realized that the 3DE model by Junior Achievement is making learning relevant and meaningful to our students' lives. So for the case challenge cycle, for the presentation you're about to see, the 3DE model has 6 case challenges per academic school year. In these 6 challenges, students work together in groups to solve real-world problems that businesses have faced presently or in the past. In this 3rd case challenge, our students worked with Georgia Power to figure out a marketing approach, whether it's direct or social media marketing, to figure out a way to market their EASE program. To do this full process, we go through a process in 3DE that we call the learner's journey. The first stage of this process is really introducing the students to the competency for the case challenge. For this competency, it was critical and analytical thinking, and students used that competency to look at research defining what was the problem with selling and marketing the EASE program, and to understand, since they're teenagers, what is energy efficiency and how can our homes be more energy efficient. Then the next step, once they've done their research, is they use what we call in 3DE the analytical tool. This is a tool that helps them use the competency to solve the case challenge. For this case challenge, it was the decision tree. They use the decision tree to look at their 2 options, direct or social media marketing, and then come up with their final solution as a team. Finally, we move into the coaching process. This is when we take representatives from Georgia Power and they come to our school and they work individually with our student teams and they coach them through their solution and give them very helpful and constructive feedback. This is when our students take that feedback and then edit and revise their solution. This is my favorite part of the learner's journey because through this part of the learner's journey, students see that very rarely is learning linear. It is messy and it's complicated and there's a lot of failures that happens, but once they revise and revise, that's where the learning happens. Finally, after they've solidified their solution, we move into the demonstration phase of the journey. And this is where they present their solutions to me. I pick the top 5 teams, and then they move on to the culminating event. At the culminating event, our representatives from Georgia Power come back, and I'm not the judge anymore. They are the judges. And they determine which team wins the case challenge. So the group that's about to come up here is Catherine Navratsky, we have Holly Costner, Natalie Murphy, and we have one more team member who couldn't be here today. That is Lily Bishop. And there are 9.3 case challenge winners for Georgia Power. This team represents not just the effectiveness of the 3DE model, but of the amazing Forsyth County teachers that have poured into them up until this point. They have helped them to make them critical thinkers, engaging presenters, and phenomenal collaborators. So I really can't wait for you to see them today, and I hope you enjoy their presentation.
Good afternoon, my name is Catherine,
I'm Natalie.
And I'm Holly Cosman.
and this is our 9.3 case challenge. Did you know, according to the North American Insulation Manufacturers Association, about 90% of homes in the US are actually insufficiently insulated? That means people are paying a higher and a higher price, while the result only depreciates in value. And that's exactly the experiment that we have set up today. In this experiment, I've made 2 miniature houses that demonstrate the type of insulation and energy efficiency that can be seen across various different homes in Georgia. On the right side, I have a house that has not properly been insulated. It is only made of cardboard, showing a style similar to before the 1970s that is now considered to be outdated. However, on the left side, I have a house that has been fully insulated with both cardboard as well as bubble wrap in order to show a more modern take and approach to insulation. In these 2 houses, I have placed both windows to show how in real life there would be still cracks to doors, but I've also placed a heating pad, which is going to act as the heater and the insulator, which would take place as the HVAC. And so in this experiment, we're going to monitor which house is able to heat up faster, therefore demonstrating energy efficiency, which is the concept of being able to use less energy while still getting the same high quality result as if you were to use more energy. And that's exactly what Georgia Power is hoping to do with different homes through the EASE program, which I'm going to let Holly explain more about.
So Georgia Power Company is a company that services many counties throughout Georgia. They were founded in 1891 by Henry Atkinson. Their mission is that Georgia is our home, and we believe that all Georgians should thrive. Their parent company is the Southern Company. Now we're going to talk about the EASE program. The EASE program is part of Georgia Power. It is a program that helps low-income individuals that need improvements at no cost for them. They will service their central heating, upgrade light bulbs to LED, and do attic insulation. To qualify for this program, there's certain criteria that you have to do. You have to be under the U.S. poverty guidelines. If you match these criteria, then you can go ahead and apply for the program. They will come in, do an assessment of your home. You can apply, and a department of Georgia Power will be sent out to do an assessment on your home. If there's any improvements needed, they will apply those improvements up to a cap of $5,000.
Now that you have a bit of a background about what the EASE Georgia program is and what EASE program also is, it's important to explore the different marketing options that we have through this Georgia Case Challenge, which I'm going to leave Natalie and Holly to explain a little bit more about.
So we used the analytical tool called the decision tree. We had to decide between 2 options. The first option was broad social media, and the second was direct customer interaction. Natalie is going to explain the first option.
So our first option was to do a broad social media campaign. Now there's a few different pros and cons of this. Potentially it could reach a bigger but broader audience, but it has to be constantly updated so that it keeps viewers engaged in what Georgia Power has to market, and it doesn't guarantee viewers' attention. Because let's be honest, when we're all sitting there scrolling on social media, we just scroll past all the ads and don't give it a second thought. And also, marketing agencies are expensive.
So for option 2 was direct interaction. It has pros and cons also. We'd be able to target low-income areas. That's who would qualify for this program. It doesn't spread widely or quickly. It does take time. To have employees come out, it would be very expensive to fly them out, and the EASE program is limited on staff. But it does give us more room to be able to persuade customers and become more, persuade the individuals to join the EASE program. The EASE program has limited staff for this.
So you may be wondering which we decided to go with. We decided to use a direct marketing campaign and implement it into our plan. So there's a few different steps to our plan. Our first step is to produce informational flyers by partnering with West Inc. to keep our plan local and reduce the costs. And as you can see, these flyers have a working QR code that will take you directly to the EASE program website, and also has details for an informational event to be held further to give people a better understanding about what the EASE program is. Our next step is to distribute these flyers. Now, to further lower the cost, we would like to see if there's any local volunteers, such as students who need hours for clubs, or just people who want to help out, that want to distribute the flyers. Then we will host the informational event with an incentive such as free food and free childcare to help get people to come. Then we will gather applicants and apply the services.
So we made our own flyers, and we wanted you to have an up-close look at them. You see on the flyers, they do have a QR code, and like Natalie just explained, it is a working QR code. It will take you to an online site that has more information about the program. It'll tell you what it means. It'll show the event that we're going to be hosting and all the details about the event at Ducktown. It's very colorful and vibrant. We had to work together to create this flyer, but we wanted to be bold and bright to attract people's attention so they'll want to go to the event.
So now you may be wondering where we would distribute these flyers. So as you can see, there's many different maps here on this slide. So over here where there's 3 maps, these are homes in Forsyth County with lower incomes. And then over here in the orange, we have a map of areas in Forsyth with large amounts of older homes. And typically homes built before the 1970s are poorly insulated and they don't retain heat as well. So it costs more to heat your house and have air conditioning. So we used a website called FMLS to gather all this information, and we're going to directly market to these houses that have low incomes that are in these areas, large amounts of older homes. As you can see, a lot of these homes are not in neighborhoods, but that's not a problem because we're able to go directly to these homes and market to them.
An important factor to take in is exactly how much it's going to cost to enact this plan. We would like to contribute $1,000 in order to enact this plan, with about $365 as a spillover amount in case we need to purchase anything extra or there are any unexpected expenses that would come up. We would like to allot $275 to food, as it acts as an incentive in order to get families to come together towards this event, with an additional $100 for a STEM activity the kids could participate in that would act as childcare while their parents get to listen about the EASE program to ensure that they get the full attentiveness while they listen about this program. We'd also like to allot $200 in order to print 400 flyers through West Ink that we would be able to spread throughout the different communities in the areas that we would market, such as that Natalie explained earlier. And we'd additionally like to put $60 towards renting Ducktown. And we specifically chose Ducktown because we wanted to ensure that it was a local spot that people would be able to come to. And that way we could ensure that it was a convenient spot that was very accessible towards everybody that we wanted to market towards.
We also wanted to share with you about potential partners that we could partner with to lower the cost for renting, the food, for the kids' activities. So Family Promise, Department of Family and Children's Services, CARE, Salvation Army, and Meals by Grace. Most likely we will partner with Meals by Grace, and Natalie's going to explain it.
So as Holly said, we're wanting to potentially partner with local nonprofits to further reduce the cost of our plan. If we were to potentially partner with an organization such as Meals by Grace, we would be able to directly market to the people who could potentially qualify for the EASE program. This is because Meals by Grace, they distribute boxes to people who need a little extra help here and there, and usually these people could potentially qualify for the EASE program. Not only are our flyers going directly to the people who could potentially qualify, but also the volunteers packaging the boxes are being exposed to the flyers as well, so it's getting even more exposure to what the EASE program is.
So I want to talk about the main competencies that we had to use in planning this project for it to be successful. We used critical and analytical thinking. We had to use this when we did our decision tree to decide which option would be the best. Also, we used the analytical thinking by searching the areas and researching to see which one would be the low income areas that we would need to target. especially the ones with older homes. The second competency that we used was effective collaboration. We had to work together to see what, out in the real world, what's happening, and research it so that we can come together and think about it and make a plan. You could see, we worked together to make these awesome slides that we collaborated together with. The third one was creative and innovation. We came up with these awesome flyers that are attractive and full of creative ideas. We came together and came up with the event, so that also we wanted to have an event to the children to be able to play with while the parents listen. The last one that we used was cultural agility. We had to figure out their backgrounds, their histories of the area, so that we'd be able to partner with them and understand their situation and be able to explain to them about the EATS program.
Now that you've seen our presentation and what our ideas encompass, it's important to look back to our experiment and reflect on the results. As you can see, the non-insulated house has heated up to a total of 23.8 degrees Celsius, while the house that has been fully insulated and has the proper modern way of insulation has heated up to 25 degrees Celsius. And although this degree in Celsius may only be about roughly 2 degrees, it's important to remember that this presentation has roughly only been going on for about 10 to 15 minutes. Imagine this enacted in the long term, where in a house in a state like Georgia costs about 2 times the national average in order to have your house fully AC and insulated. It can cost a lot, coming in about 36 cents an hour and $8.60 a day. And this amount only increases as your HVAC, which is going to act as the heating and cooling system in your home, has to work harder and harder every day to keep up with the demands of your everyday life. Additionally, older homes are commonly built using vermiculite, which is the style of insulation that they used prior to the 1970s. And when disturbed, this can cause asbestos. So not only are you paying more and more money while getting a result that's just not quite what you're paying for, you're also in danger of constantly being sick because your style of insulation has been outdated and it's no longer safe. And that's exactly why having this energy efficiency as well as insulation is so important to have and maintain. And that's exactly why the Georgia Power's EASE program is so important and beneficial to all the different communities across Georgia who may be struggling and need some help.
Now, we covered a lot of information in this presentation, so let's recap. EASE is a program that Georgia Power has that will apply improvements up to $5,000 for free to your home to reduce your cost of your power bill. And we had to choose between social media and direct marketing to come up with an idea to help market their EASE program. We used direct marketing by producing flyers and then having an event and getting people to apply to the EASE program. And we used many different competencies while coming up with this plan.
Thank you so much for your attention. Does anybody have any questions about our case challenge or the 3DE program?